ListView. Hello everyone, so this is the video that we're going to talk about ListView. So ListView is of course used to show a list of items to the user. Now you can see an example of it in the picture. So for example, you can use a ListView in the phone contacts application. You can show phone numbers and names in ListView. And of course, the action is when the user clicks a name, the phone calls a selected person. Or you can also use the ListView in a message application. You can show the message list in ListView. You can give a lot of examples about the use of ListView, so I'm not necessarily going to give them all. But the logic here is you will show a list of items in ListView, and when the user chooses an item on the list, it will do a particular action. So why don't we just get right to it, get to Android Studio, and we'll see it in practice. So of course you know that we have a project lurking here that we've been building on, and we'll continue to build this project. But before we start to create a list view, I want to show you what it will look like when we finish. So you can see here, there is a country list. And when the user clicks a country on the list, a toast message will appear, and it will write each country that is selected by the user. So let's see how we can do that. So here we have a constraint layout, and I will add a list view to this layout. And where is list view? Well, it just happens to be under the legacy section. So I'm going to drag and drop this list view. And now we have a list view. So after that, we need to fill in the list view. So we'll need a list of a few items. So what is our list of items? It's country names, that's correct. And I will create an array with country names. Remember, where do I create arrays? I'll create it inside the strings.xml file under the values folder. And I will open the arrays.xml file. And I created an array with country names before, and because I don't want to take too much of your time, you can do that yourself. And all you do is just write the string array and give a name to your array. And then after that, you'll just write every country name between two item XML codes. Everything you write between two item XML codes will be an item of the array. Okay, I wrote 16 countries names here, and so that means my array has 16 items. And now we have an array and a list view. So we can go to the Java side now. Come on, let's go. So I'll define list view and array on the Java side. I will write here list view, and after that, I need to give a name to this list view. So I'll give it the same name, list view. And also, I need to create and define an array. So I will write here array. And the name of the array would be countries as well. When I add closed brackets after the array name, Android Studio will create an array, and its name will be countries. And then I will fill in this array with inside the onCreate method. And I will write inside the onCreate method, listView equals find view by ID. And what was the ID of the list view? If you don't remember either, I will go back to the design page and check it. We did not give an ID to this list view, so I will give it list as its ID. And now I can go back to the Java side. So I'll write inside the parenthesis r.id.list. In the second line, countries equals getResources.getStringArray. r.array.countries. And do you see that? We've got an error. Okay, so this is good because we can learn how to solve errors, right? Okay, so what is my error? So I created the array wrong. So I need to define the type of the array. So I will change it to string countries and close brackets. So string is the type of array. Countries is the name of the array. And closed brackets creates array. So now the countries array is filled in with the country names. Cool. All right, so now we defined list view and array. So after that, we need to connect this list view and array to each other. How do you do that? Okay, I guess you're relying on me. So we will use the adapter for this. I heard some of you out there thinking it. So what is the adapter? Some of you may remember, some of you may not, so I'll just let you know that the adapter connects a data source and a view to each other. So the data source, in this case, is array, which is in here. View is list view. And I need to create an adapter. So I'll write here, array adapter, string adapter. And in the onCreate method, adapter equals new array adapter string. And adapter will take 3 parameters. First one is context. That means where this adapter will work. And I'll just write here this. So it will work in this class. Now the second is the list view layout. So I need to define how the items will be seen in the list view. So there are predefined layout designs, so I can choose one of them. And I'll write here android.r.layout.simplelist item1. And then the third one is the array name. So I'll write here countries. Now, because the array name is countries, makes sense. And now after that, I need to assign this adapter to the list view. So go in here, ListView.set adapter, and that's it. And the list view is ready and it's full. So we filled in the list view. Let's run it and see it. All right, so the application is open. Now we transfer the country names to the list view. But when I click on an item in the list, nothing happens. It needs to show a toast message with which country I clicked. So we filled in the list view, but we did not define what will happen when the user clicks an item. All right, let's do it right now. So I need to add a listener to the list view. I'll write it here. ListView.set on item click listener. New adapter view dot on item click listener. I'll write my codes inside the on item click method. And I will write here parent dot get item at position. When I click an item on the list, it will return an integer. So if I click on the first item, it will return 0. If I click on the second item, it will return 1. Click on third item, it'll return 3, and so on. So that means it will take the next of the items that I click from the list view. So I'll need to convert it to string. So I will add dot to string. And now, so we took the text of the item I clicked and convert it to the string. And after that, I need to assign it to a string container. And I will create a string with its name as country. And now I can create a toast message. So I will write toast.makeText. And the toast message takes 3 parameters, and we talked about that before. The first one is get application context. Second is message. I'll write my message inside the quotation marks. The message is you selected plus country name. So whichever country I choose, it will write first you selected, and then after that, add country name. And then the last parameter is how much time it will stay on the screen. So I'll just write toast.length_long, and then lastly, .show. All right, so now it's ready. So let's run it again. Application opens. So when I click England, it writes in the message, you selected England. And when I click Netherlands, it writes you selected Netherlands. Let's click Germany, and it writes you selected Germany. And I'm sure it'll continue on like that. So that's perfect. That's how ListView works in this video. Okay, so it's just the basic use of ListView. There are, of course, a lot of ways that you can use ListView, but I think it's enough for this level. So go back and practice if you want to. We'll finish up here, and I'll see you in the next video.